All right, here we go. We should be live. Also, we are not in Texas. We're near, we're just to the southeast of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't know why my location says I'm still in Texas. We're not in Texas anymore. We're in Coweta, Oklahoma. Here, we got a little supercell that's developed just to our west here. We'll be on this thing in we'll be on this little storm out here in the next 20 minutes here. So we're headed west towards this little supercell. It's got a little bit of tornado potential with it. Nothing crazy there, but definitely we need to watch this thing for a couple of brief tornadoes. It'd be on the weaker side, that's for sure. But we're gonna have to watch this. We're gonna have to watch this thing here. So gonna have to watch this thing. So I'm headed towards Haskell, Oklahoma. Sorry, I'm headed towards Bixby. Bixby, Oklahoma. We'll go through Haskell. We're going through Coweta right now, and we're approaching this storm soon. Hopefully my location doesn't keep saying I'm in Texas. That's where we were the last couple of days for those chases that were kind of a failure. So we'll see what happens today. I'm not really sure what we're gonna get, but we'll see. I mean, maybe it's something where I go live, it looks bad, and I don't stay live very long. Maybe we get some, there's already been a couple brief funnels, maybe even a couple landspout tornadoes across northern Oklahoma. So we're gonna try to get on the actual supercell here and try to get a supercellular tornado here in eastern Oklahoma today. Like I said, there's a low chance, guys, but there's a chance, and a chance, even if it's a low chance, a chance is enough to get me out of the door here and get out here. So the one thing I will say is I need to be home by 8 or 9 o'clock. So, if I'm about 2 hours away from home, whenever it's 6, 7 o'clock, I'm going to have to go ahead and head home because I have a final I have to get done. I have to get done a economics final, and it's due at 11. It's due at 11, so if I get home by 9 o'clock, I should be able to take that and get it done. But that's the only thing about today is if something happens, hopefully it doesn't happen after 6 or 7 o'clock because I'll have to be going home. So this isn't going to be too long of a stream. Probably going to be live for 3 hours, honestly. Probably 3 hours here and see what this storm does here. There we go. My location still says I'm in Texas, so I don't know why it's saying that. Sometimes it takes a while to update. I'm not in Texas. If you're just tuning in, I'm in Oklahoma. It's not supposed to say I'm in Texas there, so hopefully my radar is in the right spot. I think it is. But we're in eastern Oklahoma today, guys, and you can see the very kind of you can see the partly cloudy skies here, and you have some sunshine mixed in, and that sunshine is going to be able to heat the surface just enough for a risk for a couple of tornadoes. What's up, guys? Everybody, welcome in. I'm near Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm not in Texas. My thing is broken there. My thing is broken. It's also not 81 degrees here. It's probably closer to about 70 degrees outside. It's also not 81. So that's wrong. Let me see if I can play around with it. I don't know. I know I've seen other people have the same issue with this thing that reports your location saying it's in the wrong spot. Radar looks pretty solid. Yeah, I agree, Freddie. Radar, it looks pretty solid for what I was expecting today. We got a little mini supercell. We're only about, let's see here. We got a little mini supercell just to the southwest of Bixby. We're only about about 20 miles from that little supercell there. And so we're gonna be on this thing in the next 15, 20 minutes here. We have a river and a forest right in front of us here, so we're gonna have to take a little bit of a funky route to get over this river and over to the storm. I wish I could just drive straight west onto it, but we're gonna have to go south for just a minute here. You can see the sky is very cold core looking. You have very sharp cold convection, so cold core, that's what we call the center of the upper level low. So our low pressure, 5 or 6 miles above the ground, is probably along the Oklahoma-Kansas border, and under that low pressure there's a lobe of cold air above the ground. So that lobe of cold air can sometimes help you get extra instability towards the surface, and then you can produce tornadoes a little bit easier. There's also a lot of surface vorticity today. So we're going to be watching this little supercell the next 2 or 3 hours, and I am not in Texas. Still, I'm not in Texas. So just ignore the bottom of the screen there. I'm not in Texas. I'm in Oklahoma. After the last couple of days, I don't know when I want to even go back to Texas. That was a rough stretch of chasing. So if you guys weren't tuned in to the channel the last couple of days, we went all the way down to the Mexico border on Monday, waited for 8 hours for a storm, and nothing happened. That was rough. That's the next day we got baited into chasing southeastern Texas by the HRRR model, and I thought it looked like an okay risk because the overnight storms that we were expecting on the Mexico border, they never came to fruition, so that left the warm sector open. So I'm like, okay, this is going to work out here. And, sometimes that just happens, but talk about a waste of time and money trying to chase that down there. So today's better. We actually have storms that we're going to be able to see, and not a bunch of slop or no storms at all. So my brakes are getting a little squeaky. I need to get those changed here. We have a little bit of a lull in terms of like bigger severe weather. We should be cooking though in about 7 or 8 days here. We should have some setups start to come into the equation here. And oh my gosh, I don't know what road it's taking me. I told you guys I had to take a weird path because of the river or lake that we had. Last time we chased in Oklahoma, it went pretty well for us, so not really expecting anything like that today, but you never know. You can see kind of the dark skies off into the distance, off on the horizon. We got some darker skies. Those are our storms right there, so we're going to be able to follow these storms here for a few hours. It's not really moving that fast, so we got a little storm. These storms aren't very tall, so that's why the title says mini supercells. So like think of your normal supercell, but put it on like a very miniature, small scale. That's what a mini supercell is. So these storms are, I can actually look at this storm right here, how tall it is. This storm is only 30,000 feet tall, so it's not a tall storm. So the top of the storm is pushing 30,000 feet. Normally, our tornadic storms are 55, 60, 65,000 feet. So this storm's about twice, this storm is about twice as small height-wise as a normal tornadic storm is. And as far as like how big it is, it's probably at least 2 to 3 times as small as as a normal tornadic producing supercell, like some of the bigger ones we've seen this year. And it definitely has some rotation on it. It's not super tight. It looks pretty broad, but it's definitely got rotation. It's definitely got rotation on it. So as we get through, as we go throughout the day here in the next couple hours, it could be in a favorable zone. Where am I at? Oh my goodness. Dude, I'm in like the jungle. This is why they say Eastern Oklahoma is a jungle. What is this? Uh-oh. This, oh, there you go. There's some water going on. This water isn't going very fast here. Now, a couple days ago, that might have been flooded a little bit worse there, but it didn't look too bad. This area is very, very green, very lush. It's gotten a lot of rain recently. So we do have a supercell, guys. We have a supercell. I don't know. I don't have my stream pulled up, but I'm hoping it doesn't still say I'm in Texas, because I'm not. So if you're just tuning in, I'm not in Texas. I'm in Oklahoma here, just near, just to the southeast of Tulsa, just near Bixby. I'm close to Haskell and Bixby, Oklahoma, and we have a legit supercell here. I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like here. There we go. There's our store. Look at that. There's our little mini supercell. That's a supercell right there. We're headed right at it, so we're going to be able to get a view of it here in the next 5-10 minutes. If not, we already have a view of it on the horizon, but we're really going to get a better look at it here soon. I'd love to already have been on it, but, better. I guess I'm not really that late. It's really only kind of been a thing for 20 or 30 minutes, but sometimes these little mini supercells will randomly produce fast, and then they won't do it again, so we'll see. One thing I do like about this supercell is it's kind of got some locally backed winds. So for the most part, our winds are out of the southwest across Oklahoma. There's a small corridor, though, where you do have locally backed winds out of the south or southeast. So if this storm can take advantage of those locally backed winds, it could produce a brief tornado. I wouldn't rule it out. That's why I'm out here chasing. I wouldn't have driven an hour and 45 minutes from home for nothing, obviously. So we do have a legit risk, and here we're going to go through a forest. So just a little bit of a heads up, guys. This terrain out here isn't actually that bad compared to a lot of eastern Oklahoma, but we're going to go through a little bit of a forest here. A lot of eastern Oklahoma is worse than this, but this is okay. We can deal with this. That tornado that we saw the other week in Caddo, Oklahoma, just near Durant, all the way down by the Red River, we had great terrain on that intercept, nice fields, but then if you went over a couple miles, you had dense forest. So sometimes in eastern Oklahoma, it's patchy, and you just have to get lucky. You have to get lucky with that terrain there. So we're going to be getting through this forest here, we're blasting down to Bixby. Bixby's a little bit to the north of the storm. We're probably going to go a little bit south of Bixby, but this thing has a mesocyclone. It is rotating. It does look like a legit supercell to me, so just give us a few minutes, guys. We're going to be right on this thing here. If you're just now tuning in, I'm not in Texas. I don't know if my stream still says that or not, but if it says I'm in Texas, I'm not in Texas. I'm in Oklahoma, just like oh my gosh, did memberships. Thank you so much. That you know, running red. Oklahoma has a lot of tolls. Like some states just have tolls on like very specific stretches of highway or like in specific metro areas. Oklahoma, they have tolls everywhere. So like basically any oh, there's some scud right there. You can see on the horizon. Look at that. We already got a view of the storm here. It looks a little bit high base to me, higher base than what I would kind of expect on a day like today. But so maybe that moisture. I mean, we have a 60 degree dew. I mean, we're about a 10 degree temperature dew point spread. We had about 70 over 60, so that's not too bad. But back to the tolls. Yeah, if you didn't know, Oklahoma, excessive amount of tolls. They used to make you pull over off of the highway and go to the toll booth, right? Make you pay the toll, but they just finally switched to where it scans the plate. I mean, it took them so long. Like, I mean, it took them until 2025, but they finally switched to where you just scan the plate. And they doubled the price of the toll. So Oklahoma tolls maybe used to be like $5 or $6. Now it's $10. If you have the Pike Pass, it's $5. I have the Pike Pass, so that cuts my toll cost down about 50%. But still, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you drive from if I drove to Oklahoma City and back, I'm paying a whole tank of gas worth of tolls. I mean, that's ridiculous, especially since they don't even have toll booths anymore. They don't even have toll workers. They don't even have a booth anymore. They don't even have to pay anybody to stand there. They just have the cameras. I don't know, maybe the cost to send tolls in the mail, I'm sure the cost to send the toll in the mail might actually outweigh what they're paying toll workers, so maybe that's why they... But I mean, seriously, dude, like, it's ridiculous. Like, $10 just... So I'm not from there. I'm from this middle of the country. We don't have a ton of tolls out here other than really Oklahoma. That's about it. It's Oklahoma. I don't know. I've maybe seen one toll near like Wichita, and then maybe in like Dallas or something. But that's it. So Austin hasn't. But I mean, you know, like there's our storm in the distance there. So I can zoom in just a little bit. If I zoom in too much on the road, camera, I gotta zoom in. Oh yeah. We're gonna kind of come up into a better area to view this thing. So we're gonna be coming into some. We'll have some field up here. Where maybe we can get might be on the kind of to the north up there, but I okay, there we go. We have a long tree, so there's our storm. There's our supercell. Nice supercell structure. We got a little bit of a tail cloud there on the right. And then we have a lowering. Let's see if I can find a good spot with decent service to come watch this thing. Come on, get service. Get service. Come on, let's go. There we go. We got service back. Okay. We should have decent service up here. There's our storm. There's our lowering. We're just going to pull off somewhere and watch this thing. Let me find a spot. I'm going to let it come right to us. We got some trees in the distance there. So yeah, not perfect terrain, but it's doable. There's our supercell. You can see the supercell structure there. Rotation is getting a little tighter, so we're going to have to watch this thing for a tornado here in the next few minutes. I'm going to turn around and get a better spot to view this thing. Well, maybe this spot up here is going to be perfect. So, I might be able to turn back and get a little bit better of a spot. There's our storm. There's our storm right there, guys. Supercell out here in eastern Oklahoma, a little mini supercell. It's got some okay rotation on it right now. It looks like it's picked up even a couple mergers there, so it might be gearing up soon. Maybe it'll die. I don't know. But we do have a supercell. You can see the base, low wall cloud. It's coming right at us. So there's no need to really move much. It's coming right at us. It might actually dive just slightly to the south. It might actually start to kind of, the motion of the storm might even start to veer a little bit to the southeast. If so, we'll be able to get south pretty easy. We could get right up on it if we really wanted to. I kind of do. I think we should. Maybe we should just get right up on this thing. Let's see. Let's see. Road-wise, I mean, we can make it work. Definitely got a tight couplet in there. It could produce a tornado. So we're gonna go on. We're gonna get up on this thing and hope we don't lose service here. If I lose service, guys, I apologize. But there's a couplet due west of us. There's also another storm developing to our south. You can see it on the left side of the screen there. We do have a couplet under this thing. It wouldn't shock me if it had the potential to produce a little tornado. In the right scenario, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think the environment is somewhat conditionally favorable for a weak tornado. Like I said, if we can get had some caveats, if we could get those winds to back out of the southeast instead of the southwest, and then if it could take, we're gonna get a little bit closer. It's a small storm, so might want to get right up on it. Hope we don't lose service. We probably will. River, so it's not the ideal spot here as far as service goes. If I lose service, just bear with me. I'll get back as fast as I can. Let's go straight. We're going to be fighting some trees for a second, but we're going to be fighting some trees here. But guys, there should be some breaks in the trees up here. I hope there's some breaks in the trees. It looks like there is on my maps. Well, there is. We just got to get a little bit further up, don't we? Okay. Okay, let me get a little bit further up on this thing. Get out of the trees here. It's a four-way stop. Okay. I didn't see stop. I didn't think I saw stop signs on the other. Alright, once we get past these couple of tree lines, we should be able to maybe get a view of this thing. we might have to veer just a little bit. It's got a couplet. It's got a little bit of a couplet. It's not strong, but it's there. The storm looks a lot more disorganized now on the radar. So I'm wondering if it's getting affected by something, or if it weakened, or what's going on. We got more storms firing to the south, but you can see we got an inflow tail right there on the right. The contrast isn't very good today. We don't have great contrast on any of these things. You can see we have an inflow tail right there on the right. Here we go. Let's see if this thing looks like anything is gonna happen here. We just got our little supercell right here. There we go. We got a base. I don't see any tornado right now. There, I'm going to turn right for just a second there, and then we'll get back into position on it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to get out ahead of it. Yeah, it's just got a base on it right now. Oh, that road is not finished. I cannot drive on that one. Oh, this person's... Is this a house or like a neighborhood? I don't want to back into someone's... prefer not to back into someone's driveway. I don't know. I should just get in the sun. Well, there's people's driveway right there, but there's some cars driving, so I was like, yeah. All right, we got a street right here. I'm gonna set up shop right up here and look at this thing. Maybe we'll get a quick little spin up, maybe not. All right, let me turn around here and see. Oh, here we go. Right here's a perfect. Oh, we had a perfect spot, but now this house is blocking the storm. Oh gosh. Now here's our storm right there. There's our supercell. It's kind of falling apart just a little bit, but it still has that structure to it. It's getting a lot of inflow there on the right side. You can see the inflow tails coming into it. You can see 1, 2 inflow tails right off the surface. It's pulling in that surface moisture. As far as visible rotation, I don't really see much in the way of that. The couplet that was on radar is just a little bit more diffuse now, but it's still there. There's still some rotation in there. You can almost even see, you can see the clear slot wrapping in. You have a little bit of a horseshoe shape in there. We'll have to watch that right over that house and to the left is where we're gonna have to watch it. There's a clear RFD cut. We'll have to watch for any little funnel business. I want to get in a little bit better position just to the south. We might want to get just a little bit south here in a minute. Hopefully we can. We'll have to watch right in there for a little something to drop out of there. So right just to the left of that house is where it would be. Okay, there's a little bit of rotation. There is a little bit of visible rotation. Alright guys, we're gonna want to stay in position on this thing, so we're gonna want to get just a little bit south here. You see the RFD cut, that little horseshoe shape. Alright guys, so let me get Let me get back into position. You can see it there on the right side of the screen. Hopefully my radar might be blocking it a little bit, but you can see it there on the right side of the screen. And we're just going to get a little bit to the south here. And we're just going to get right back on this thing as quick as we possibly can. We just gotta stay in position to keep ahead of it. So if it does drop anything, we can go intercept it. These things are pretty low to the ground. Since they're pretty low to the ground, they're definitely pulling in a lot of moisture. Okay, let's go. All right. We're going to go this way. We're going to go to the east really quick, and then we're going to go to the east, and then I'm going to get you guys a view of this thing really quick here in just a minute. Just let me go to the east here just a bit, and then I'm going to drop back south, and I'll get another view of it and see if it. I like the look of it on radar. It's gotten a little bit smaller, which it's gotten a little bit smaller in stature, which could be a good thing. Right now, I think it has a little bit too strong of an RFD wrapping around the backside. It's a little bit too strong of an RFD. All right, at this next street here, I'm gonna turn to the east here. I'm going to turn back to the south at this next street here. Coming up. City Memorial. Where this guy's turning. Yeah, 2 cars. Maybe those are storm chasers turning around here. Let's see. Let's see what this guy's got. Just kind of rain wrapped in there. It's just a mess. I don't know. It just kind of got rain wrapped. But it's still got that couplet back in there. We'll have to get dirty. We'll have to get dirty here and get inside of this storm. We got to get inside of this thing. It's kind of shooting southeast, so that might be good for its short-term tornado potential if it can shoot southeast here. All right, I should have a little pole-in up here that I can pull into and get a view of this thing. Is that a chase? I think that's a chaser right there. Is that a chaser? There's someone pulled off. There's someone pulled off right here. I think that might be a chaser. That's where I want it. Yeah, it is a chaser. That's where I wanted to pull off. That's where I wanted to pull off right there. Oh, that's Mike Scantlin. That's Mike Scantlin right there. That's the Scant Man. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Oh, we got a little bit of a spot that we're going to want to watch right there. Look at that. Is that a funnel kind of thing? Yeah, it kind of looks like he's got a mezzo in there. A little bit of something right there. That's where it would produce. Right there. This is right where it would produce. Right above, right to the right of that tree is where it would be if it did anything. Looks a little bit ugly, but welcome to the Doppler gang, Derek. Guys, thank you for all the new memberships. By the way, that's $5. I'm about to drop it price, so make it a little bit cheaper so I can get more members. Yeah, I was watching that spot, but now it kind of looks a little bit less favorable, maybe. But it's kind of rain wrapped. It's got a lot of rain back in there. Forerunner crew just missing Storm Runner Media. Yeah, dude, they all got the Forerunners. I just think Toyotas are a pretty good car there. Okay, now it's showing that we are in Bixby, Oklahoma. So there we go. It's working now. It's working. Guys, these overlays are pretty new here to the channel. I just kind of got them here. Okay, so I don't like that the tree, that one tree is like blocking my view of the storm. You can see this thing is kind of hooking a little bit, but it's got a little bit too much. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at on the radar here. It's got a little bit too much of this bowed out, like backward C kind of shape. You can see it's got a hook. It's got a hook, but see, it's got a little bit too much of this like bowed out shape. If it could lose that shape, I think it could produce a tornado. So if they can kind of go through a little bit of an adjustment here, let's see. This storm needs to do some adjusting. But it's pulling in. You can see on the right side of the screen here, it's pulling in some nice. It's pulling in some nice inflow. It's a little bit rain wrapped. But see, and you can see this. You can see this is ugly right here. This right here, that's like that bowed out shape that you're seeing, and that's not what you. Now you can get it to come. You can get it to spin back in on the inside, even if you have some outflow on the southern side of the storm. But it's just not ideal. Too much outflow on the southern side of the storm, especially on a day like today, could create a challenge in getting a tornado. I still think there's something back in that rain that's a little bit lower there, but watch this. We got a guy parked next to us now. We got some storms to the south that are trying to pop up that we might want to keep an eye on, down towards Winchester. But right now, just this guy is a shot at producing a tornado in the near term. I'm gonna try to maybe get a better view of this thing. Yeah, let me try to get a better view of this thing. Omega block. The Croft approach, he's gained thousands of members. Yeah, I want that to be me soon. I want to do the Croft approach. That sounds like a pretty good thing right there. So you can see all this inflow getting pulled in right here. Look, you can see, look at this. Look at this inflow. Look at this inflow feeding into this supercell here. A lot of inflow feeding into it. There it is on radar. There you guys go, right there. So I might drop a little bit to the south and east just to stay out ahead of it, because it doesn't look like it's producing anything right now. It's got a little bit of a couplet still. It's still got a tiny couplet, but it's kind of weakened. You can see, look at those reds and greens. See, I circled. See those tiny reds and greens? It's kind of weakened a bit. It was a little bit stronger maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. We got a chaser right there. I don't know who that guy is. I don't recognize. I did recognize the scant man back there. I don't know who he's with, but he's with someone else. We do have a tiny bit of rotation in there, so we're gonna reposition here when I get a chance, when there's not cars in the way. All I know is if anything's gonna happen, we're kind of in the right spot. All right, our road situation up here is a little bit meh. Oh gosh, it gets kind of rough actually. So, but it's okay, it's okay. I've seen a lot worse. But we're gonna want to get out of here, kind of reposition right here. There's our storm. That rotation's gonna be right in there, right where the phone is looking. Right. Let me zoom in just a little bit more, but it's gonna be kind of in that area. That's where your rotation's gonna be. It's a little bit wrapped up in rain now, and we're to the north of the storm. So we're to the north of the storm where the core would be. Now we don't have to really worry about any hail bigger than maybe half an inch today. I mean, if one of these things got really strong, I could see an inch in diameter of hail. I could see it. We're gonna get caught up. Produce a tornado there for just a second. Now it's kind of getting ugly. It's getting wrapped up in rain, and we're also right under the storm, so it's not going to look as good right under that storm. So we're going to have to reposition here to the south and get a more favorable view of this thing. Yeah, the storm is just simply getting unfavorable. It's bowing out. So when we came up on it, it had a nice wall cloud, nice inflow tail. It's kind of up. You get on the radar, see how it's like kind of that C shape. Maybe this storm will become favorable again. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm only going to chase it for another 2 to 2.5 more hours. But I think by 6:37, it'll be winding down anyway. Here we go, right into the thick of it. We're gonna get in this thing, right in the thick of it. Here. Turn on your light. I lose the service here. While I'm trying to control we are. We're in it. We're gonna go south to get out ahead of this thing. Maybe reposition to the other side to the south. I don't know if you guys can quite see that other from my little radar in the bottom right corner, but all right, guys. Actually, we might even have you guys southern storm. Okay, yeah, we're looking right at it. Actually, we have another storm developing. We're looking right at that thing, and it's not a supercell quite yet, but it's, well, yeah, it's a little bit of a supercell. I mean, it doesn't look too enticing on a, it doesn't look too enticing in person, but if you look at the radar, it is trying to become a supercell. It looks like our storm over here to our east is kind of trying to but it's trying to get there. In and out of position, especially when you have a road network like we do out here, and it's not super consistent. It's a constant battle to stay in position here. Okay, I like that storm to our south. I mean, I don't want to leave our current one yet, but that storm to our south is looking solid. So it could be that one. It needs to get a little bit more. It needs to get maybe just a little bit more mass. But I like that storm to our south. Trying to get I see the wall cloud. I'm trying to get a view of it. this guy that we're on, I might have a little bit of strongest. It's very outflow down. Straight in the back of these things. And as a top there on that top of that hill, it's a major speed going down. We're getting out of this little patch of forest here, guys. I'm gonna turn it back around. But it needs to kind of reinvent itself. We'll see if it does or not. But it really does need to reinvent itself here. It wants to have a shot at producing data for us. Oh, all these roads are terrible. Make you pay. I know these aren't toll roads, but they do make you pay all that money in tolls. And, maybe they should use some of that to fix these roads up too. I don't know. Let's see here. Dirt road up here. Oh, good night. This road is bad. Ugh. If this starts getting rained on, it's gonna get rough. Let's see here. Yeah, dude, this thing's an absolute mess now. It was looking very promising, not so much, but this is why we're gonna stick with it and see if it does anything else. That is not a good look. You guys know how I do it here. I don't really sugarcoat stuff here on this channel. I kind of just tell it how it is. The storm doesn't look good for tornadoes, I'm not going to lie. It's got a little bit of structure, probably some small hail, probably some wind in there. But it's totally changed orientation from a supercell to just kind of like a Boeing segment. There it is. That's not your look for tornadoes. Earlier we had those inflow tails. We had those inflow tails streaming in. Now look, where's the inflow? See, where's the inflow? It's not there. There's no inflow now. See, it's all outflow. Those clouds right there, that scud, that's pushing out. Now, to these things can reinvent themselves and go back to a supercell. We'll have to see. Um, not much I'm seeing right now. Maybe to the south. Maybe over to the south. Something can get going there. We'll see, guys. I'm it's a wait and see right now, but you can see, like I was kind of talking about, you can see our storm. It has that backwards C shape. And this is see, look at how our storm is orientated. See that? There's our storm. See how it's like bowing out? That's that right there. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at that section of the storm bowing out. And then this is what we want the storm to look like. Is what it looked like. Let me go back to the radar earlier and show you guys what the storm did look like. Back when I had a shot. Better shot to produce a tornado. We'll see. Maybe it'll start pulling in some more inflow again. We're gonna stick with it here for a while here. So let's see. Let me get a look at what it was earlier. I was trying to reach my hand. Yeah, I was there for a while. You guys are. See how it has to shape. See how it's more of a hook. That was earlier when it produced a tornado just southeast of Fort. It's like kind of hook. Tried to produce where there's trying to do southwest. And did you see it kind of started? How it kind of started bowing out, and then look, it's just a bowing segment. But look to the south towards Winchester. Look at that guy blowing up. See right here, this guy can maybe become the next supercell down there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I mean, you definitely have. It's trying to get a little bit of inflow back in it again, but right now I'm just kind of. I think that's the play. Let me sit here and think about it for a little bit longer. I think we're probably gonna end up doing. There's our storm right there. It's trying to pull a little bit of it. Like earlier, that 18Z H triple R was right, then we might, maybe we'll go to Tennessee tomorrow. I mean, it's gotta get home and get that final done. But dude, I mean, if it was showing kind of a setup over in near the Covington area in northwest Tennessee, but we'll see. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in here, we're southeast of Tulsa. We're tracking some mini supercells. Right now, they're not in a tornado. They're not kind of in a tornado producing form, but they could always get back to that. I actually think there's a little bit of rotation that's kind of being shown again here, just over north. You can see that, or these trying to wrap back around. You can see a little bit of a lowering right in there. Yeah, it's yeah, there's definitely some rotation in there. So maybe this world will just kind of reinvent itself and become a better version of what it was before. But if you're just now tuning in, guys, I do have a final to take tonight that's due at 11. So do need to make sure not to get too far away from home. Like, I kind of want to stay within maybe 2.5 hours of home, but what's up, Chappie? How's it going, man? Your service a little iffy here. Shocker. Okay, well, this is kind of getting wrapped up in rain now, what we're looking at, but good day for Ben to build some viewers. Heck yeah, that's what we're doing. Robo audio. Yep. Thank you for everybody tuning in. We're almost 250 likes. Make sure to smash that like button. I'm going to go south. I think I'm going to go south here. Let me get off this road before it gets rough here. I don't think it'd be too bad. It looks like more gravel than, or more gravel and sand than mud. But I don't really want to take a chance. I've pulled off before on a road and I'm like, oh, this ain't so bad. It's just some grass or just some dirt, and then I end up in the ditch. So I think we're gonna go south. We'll get around it. I think we're gonna. Get a better shot. We're gonna go. Marshall Warren is blue. Anyone to gain them. I'm gonna go straight here. Let's hope this. I'm just guys receiving a comeback. Promise. It's not gonna be out for like an hour, like the other day in Mexico. Not in Mexico, but we're based in Mexico. We're 1 hour out. I've had a fun little run with Border Patrol. They really grilled me hard. This was forward too. But yeah, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit ridiculous. I'm obviously a storm chaser. You're like asking me on everything under the sun, just looking through my car. They're like, hey, why do you have 2 spare tires back here? But, hey, why do you have a pillow? They're like, are you hiding people under the pillows? I'm like, no, I've slept in the car a few times. I got a pillow in there. There's our storm to the south. Ugh. Potholes. So we did see a couple other chasers out here, so clearly some other people saw what I saw. There's a couple other chasers, not a ton. I only saw 3. All 3 of us on the same road in the same spot. They're about. I saw a few solder dots. Understood. Look, it's a tornado 30 minutes. I really think we're not far from a little weak tornado. There's storm. Hey, I don't know. Oh, well, cars walking over the. Oh, well. My is my right side of the thing. Like, oh, it's green left. thing has lightning. It's so small. It might have a little. It probably has a little bit of lightning. There's our storm to the north, right there. You can see. That's our storm to the north. Very helpful down there. Here's our little cell to the south that's trying. Hold on. Let me turn here. Here's our cell to the south. And this is the guy that I'm watching. Because this thing it's trying to become a supercell. It's pulling in good inflow, actually. It's got good inflow, good scud. It's just a little bit too small right now. So we're gonna have to watch that thing try to size up here. Let me get the wipers on again. We're gonna have to watch if this thing can strengthen up, because you can see it's kind of tilted from left to right. You can see it has some of that decent supercell structure there. Pulling in a lot of inflow right now. It's just to get a little bit bigger. Guys, I'm going to be brutally honest here. I see what's happening. We have an outflow boundary pushing out from these storms, and it's not letting them get inflow. So I'll show you guys here. This is our outflow boundary. We have this big complex of storms. Look at that outflow boundary pushing out. So this storm could be doing great things, but it's outflow. It's pulling a little bit of inflow, but it's mostly outflow dominant. So to get something to really wrap up here, we're gonna have to have it become inflow. You're gonna have it get more inflow. This thing's totally outflow dominant right now. Got an outflow boundary. I don't know where that outflow boundary came from. I don't know which storm shot it out either. It might have been this one. This storm was getting a little bit of inflow. That's right side, but it looks pretty. Yeah, look at how even since we got onto this storm, it's like kind of changed a little bit. It's like, look at how much more like outflow. It has the outflow look to it. Actually has a little bit of rotation see how we kind of have gone from there's an individual supercell, right? There's our supercell. That's where it almost produced a tornado. And look at this. We got a big, kind of like merged a complex. So I thought that these guys down here, this guy down here, would turn into the next supercell. But see, it shot. There's an outflow boundary that got shot out. So now it's just a big old complex. And that's not even really rotating anymore now. So there was a little bit of rotation on that. But now it's not even really doing much. Okay, so I think the more the part of this one is I think we're gonna have to go east and get out ahead of this whole complex. Alright, we're gonna get back onto the northern one here. Alright guys, bear with me. We're gonna get a good view of these storms here. Whether they do something or not, we're gonna have a view of the storm. We're right on it, so I finally have a decent highway I can kind of take to the east. We'll chase this thing for the next hour. get a little bit east here, and then we'll get back out ahead of this thing, guys. And as it kind of gets towards Taft. Actually, within the next few miles, just give me a like to me it's getting a little bit more favorably oriented, whatever. I don't know how to say that word. I also want to watch that storm near Shamrock. It's got some rotation on it. Doesn't look like it's going to produce a tornado right now, but up towards Shamrock, it's kind of just northwest of Tulsa. So we might have a little outflow dominant supercell here to track, and if it gets any inflow on that, you can see there's a little tail cloud, kind of not a big tail cloud, but just a little tail cloud there on the bottom edge right, on the bottom right of that low-hanging scud, and it's trying to pull in some inflow back in there. So we'll see if we can pull in any appreciable amounts of inflow and see what I can do here. We're gonna head towards Taft here. We're almost in position now, guys. We're gonna head towards Taft. So we got about 5 minutes more to drive. We got about 5 minutes to drive east here to get in position. We'll get a spot there and we'll get a good view. There we go. You can see it's pulling